Hey everyone, it's me, Taylor. I am here doing my design symposium. I have compiled 5 different projects and my magazine to kind of go over some of my favorites. So first and foremost is creating the logo for the pizza. I really enjoyed this just because I love graphic design, and so just being able to create those different little, I guess, vector images and change them how I want to, changing the colors. I think the most difficult part was just figuring out where to place those, and also just the thickness. And so if I was to go back in here, I would probably change the thickness even to that, and then maybe just move over so that the lines match up just a little bit, and maybe have this font be different and maybe slide it in here a little bit more. The next image that I have is, or I guess project, I really enjoyed being able to add in our own little, I guess like the unique vector images and the logos. I like that you can be able to use this in many different ways. This system you can use to do, I like blow it up and do a banner. You could do postcards, and I just really like the flexibility with a lot of the system. And so this one, we just added this in here. If I was to change anything, I just looks like I need to move it over just a little bit so it's in the middle. So I don't know if I didn't use my ruler properly or whatnot, but next time. So for this one, I really just enjoyed being able to tell a story using the images. You can do this in videos, and there's so many different ways, but I like that it's just like a simple photo that tells the whole process on what this company does and what the steps they go through in order to, finish a project. So this is the logo that I created. So I created the personalized logo using customized shapes, and I even tried to create kind of like a structured gradient in the background, so that the focal point was still the bird, but it kind of brought a little bit more color. If I was to do this again, I would probably just move the bird down a little bit, and then also just move these lines. Just, it was pretty difficult to get those colors in there, so I'd probably just make sure that they got moved up a little bit so that they were straighter, and made the lines a little bit better. But I really enjoyed being able to do this logo. Was honestly just the creativity aspect of it. So the next one is, we really didn't do a whole lot to this page specifically, but I loved just diving into the magazine aspect of things because, oh my gosh, it just got my juices flowing, so it was so great. But we were able to go in and really just look at the tiny details on this, and I just enjoyed being able to see and listen to the process that the instructor was going through when he was teaching us how to do this. So like even just the little dots here, I mean, it sounds like such a minute thing, but there's a reason why they're there, and it's because it's drawing the eye, and it follows along with the curve of the spoon and just why they picked that image, and how things aligned. It didn't align with the black, it aligned with the words that were listed above. So it just gave me a lot of things to think about when I was going into my project specifically. So next is mine. I guess let me start from the beginning would be great. So here is my magazine. If I was to go back in here, I'd probably do A Guide to Idaho or change the name a little bit. I decided to do just a little bit about Idaho and what makes Idaho so great. So I had to go in and actually put these images in here and then size them all the exact same so that they aligned properly. I guess I could go back in and maybe just do lines over the image. There's a couple of different ways to do it. If I were to go back in, I'd probably just smush this in so I didn't notice that that wasn't specifically aligned. And then I just kind of did some information on there, and then did the same thing here, so I probably would just move it over a tad, so that it was a little bit more balanced, but I would probably also need to smush each of these in as well. And then this one, I'd probably just move up some of this stuff just so it wasn't as cramped. And then each of these buttons you could click and it would take you to like a website or maybe a zoom in on the picture. So you get a little bit more information about that city. I really liked this part. This is where I could go in and do some of those small details that really attracted the eye. So just kind of a little bit of an outdoor guide of different places that you can go to within Idaho. I like that, you follow this line, each of these things, and then the arrow. So just different things. I just liked that I was able to get a little bit creative on how I was doing it and where I was positioning everything. I think if I was to go back in and just redo this page a little bit more, I'd probably just position the pictures a little bit differently, and maybe even delete one of these so that it was a little bit more spaced out. But I think other than that, I mean, I really just enjoyed this project, and just made me excited to be able to see what other things I'd be able to do. So, I guess my final closing statement is throughout this class, like, as I've said many times, I really enjoyed it. I typically use Canva a lot, just because I didn't have a whole lot of experience with Adobe. And I think for me, this was just really an eye opener as to what things Adobe can do and that they have simple aspects to it that you can use. So I will be using it more on my day-to-day basis just for work and for school. So I am just excited, and you guys all did amazing jobs on your projects. So it'll be awesome to see where you guys go too.